Today's daily Bible thought is from John chapter 4, and I want to tell you the whole story, but I'm trying to keep the daily Bible thoughts to a short minute or two. But this story doesn't just have to do with John chapter 4. It has to do with my personal life, has to do with my mom's, has to do with actually every person on the planet. And so it's an important chapter, it's an important verse. So I'll read the verse, I guess, and then I guess part of it is just you have to decide for yourself. But I also want to challenge those of us who have a testimony. We need to share our testimony. Guys, there's times where I can just tell you, when I was a little girl, God was there for me. I knew He was there. He would be there with me in a way that, it's not like I ever heard an audible voice, but I heard Him speak within my spirit, and I knew it was Him. And there's different parts of my life I could go through where things happened that can only be explained by God being there for me. My mom has stories. Everybody has a story. If anybody has followed Jesus, then they have a story of what He's done for them. The big thing is He forgave me. There were things I knew I'd done that were terrible, and I felt terrible about. I was ashamed, and He forgave me, and I felt that forgiveness, and I know that forgiveness, and I can stand in it. So there was a woman who had done very terrible things, and she sat at a well one day, and a man named Jesus came and spoke to her. And so read John chapter 4, and verse 29 says, after she had talked to Jesus and heard Him, she ran back to her village, and she said, "Come and see a man who told me everything I ever did." Could he possibly be the Messiah? John chapter 4, verse 29, and I think in her heart she knew He was, but our own personal experience cannot be shared by another. Everybody has to decide what he or she will do with Jesus. So please today think about, if you are a believer and you're following Jesus, share your testimony. Talk about what He's done in your life recently. This morning, He spoke with me about frustration. And you can tell I'm late because the bird is singing. And this is inside. But I got frustrated because I wasn't sure what Bible verse to do for today. And Troy said, why don't you do John chapter 4:29? And for this year, for the Red Barn, that's our verse. Come and see. Come and see what the Lord has done. And so there's another verse in the Bible that I'll do tomorrow that talks about taste and see. So God knows He made us with 5 senses, and He can infiltrate and invade and completely consume all 5. So read John chapter 4 and hear the rest of the story, but share your testimony if you have one. And if you don't have one, then think about it. He could possibly be the Messiah.